Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tundra TRD. Today, my friends, we are taking the 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro on its first road trip, a little 170 or so mile trip into the Pocono Mountains. Let's see how this truck drives, and most importantly, let's see what the fuel mileage is. We're going to be doing a pump-to-pump calculation at the end, so stay tuned and enjoy. Okay, update number one on this 180 mile trip. We are 33.6 miles into it. Comfort inside the cab is top notch. Probably the best I've ever had in any Tundra. Truck feels great getting down the road. Feels like there's a lot of power. That's the great part about the hybrid. Doesn't feel sluggish going up the hills or anything like that. We got a little crosswind, but the truck is tracking straight and great. As far as this driver's seat, by far the best seat in any Tundra I've ever had. Very comfortable, but we're only 35 miles into this, so let's see how we are when we get to the destination. We're going to do updates throughout. I don't know if you can see my wife in the shot. I don't know if the camera is showing her, but we're sitting in bright red seats and she's wearing hot pink. So the color, you might just see a face, I don't know. How's the comfort for you over there?
It's fine.
All right. How is it compared to other Tundras that we've owned?
I like the feel of the seat.
You like the feel of it? It's soft. Okay, a little soft. Excellent. We actually have the cooled seats on all the way right now, and the AC in the cab, because for some reason it's 65 degrees on December 30th. But we're taking this fuel mileage ride to see what's going on as far as, you know, this 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 hybrid engine. What will the fuel mileage be? I implore you to pause the video, go down in the comments, and let me know what you think it'll be. Will it get to 20? I think it's going to be more around 18, but we shall see at the end of the trip. Look forward to more updates throughout. Once again, right now, 35.3 miles into this. I'll keep you updated on what we think. Any more comments?
No.
Nope, she's good, I'm good. Down the road we go. All right, two things a lot of people ask. Number one, we have the Falcon Wild Peak tires on this. At speed, we're doing 70 miles an hour. There is a little bit of road noise, but very smooth. I don't know if you could hear. Take a listen. A little bit of road noise, but I must say, very smooth. It doesn't feel like, you know, a very aggressive all-terrain tire like it looks, so definitely high five for that. Another thing people ask about is the windshield is a lot smaller than the old one, but you still have a great view of everything. There is no issue as far as all of your blind spots around you. There's not a lot of blind spots, and don't forget, these new Tundras have pretty much bird's eye 360 view all the way around. If you get near anything, some sensor is going to go off, and this big screen right here is going to tell you where you may potentially hit something. Okay, we're just past 100 miles into the trip. I must say, whether you love or hate the new generation Tundra, this is the best driving Tundra for a situation like this. Extremely smooth, extremely powerful. The truck gets around vehicles perfectly when you need to pass. The gearing does not get lost. It doesn't get confused. There's just power at all times, but the seat's very comfortable. The suspension is very compliant. So still the same as we felt in the beginning. But now I want to talk a little bit about this screen. You got a lot of options on the 14-inch infotainment. When we go to the little vehicle icon, it'll show you what we're doing as far as MPG through the trip. And it looks like most of it is hanging out around 20 MPGs here. And then you get your real-time MPG over there. But it looks like we might have a decent road trip as far as when we actually do the pump to pump, but this is what the truck is saying right now. Also, another thing that people don't know that the truck can do, there's cameras everywhere on this. If you hit the view button, you can see what is in the bed of your truck. If you put anything in there, make sure it's still secured and all of that. Make sure it's not floating around in there crazy or about to fall out. And you can also hit another button to show you down at the trailer hitch to make sure your trailer is still secured properly. So a lot of options on this new generation Tundra, along with the 53,000 cameras there are. But so far so good. Truck runs great. Everything is fantastic. Still have no complaints right now. but I'll keep you updated. Radar cruise control is the same idea as it was last generation. You pick your speed. As you get closer to a vehicle in front of you, the truck will begin to slow down to keep that distance. You can adjust the distance in settings. As you can see, the truck is automatically slowing down as I come up to a vehicle ahead of me. My first little road trip with the new TRD Pro Toyota Tundra, next generation. Huge success. We'll go over the fuel mileage numbers in a minute, but just to recap on a few good things about the trip. Handling was amazing. Braking was amazing. The thing that shocked me the most and that I really enjoyed was how well the truck shifted to not just keep up with traffic, but pass traffic. Coming up into the mountains, it didn't struggle. The gears didn't search around, or the transmission didn't search around for the right gears. It was a very, very nice ride. A lot of comfort. The seats are amazing in these new generation Tundras. So I don't really have anything negative to say because it was a nice trip. One thing I will bring up, tire noise. There's definitely some tire noise with these Falcon Wild Peaks, but it's really going to depend on what Tundra you get because some of the other Tundras come with different tires. But that's what you have to sacrifice. If you want a good all-terrain, or even if you get something like a mud tire, you're going to get some road noise. It wasn't annoying or anything, but you could definitely hear them. So keep that in mind. People ask about the JBL sound system in the new generation Tundra. It was absolutely amazing. I've been saying that since we bought the truck. That is one upgrade they definitely did. So overall, no issues whatsoever. There wasn't a lot of blind spots, as we talked about earlier in this video. You do have cameras all around the truck. You even have the cameras that you could check your hitch and you could check what's in your bed to make sure it's still secured and tied down. And that's what this new generation Tundra is all about. It's all about the amenities and features to get you where you got to go safely. But I will say, since I've owned this truck, this is definitely the strong point. This made me happy to own this truck, the way it was acting on the highway here. And just the overall feel of the truck is completely different than what we were used to in the last generation. It doesn't make the last generation bad. It's just completely different. So keep that in mind. And once again, as I always say, I hope you get annoyed I say this so much. If you're in the market for the new generation Tundra and you're coming from the old generation Tundra, test drive it before you buy it. Sit in the back seat, sit in the front seat, get a vibe for it. Some people will love it, some people won't. Let's talk MPG. Here we go. The trip was 170.1 miles we did when I filled up at the pump, which was regular gas, by the way, and my PSIs on all tires were 38. It took 8.958 gallons to fill, and that makes the fuel mileage on this trip, pump to pump, 18.98. 18.98, so we'll say 19, okay? There's just over 1,000 miles on the truck after trip, 1,077 miles. So that's 19 MPG on this new generation Tundra. I've taken this trip a lot of times with the old generation Tundra, and it was about 15.5 to 16. All right, so you'll have to let me know in the comments below what you think about that jump. So say 16 to 19, a 3 MPG increase. Is that good enough for you? Is that making you want to go spend your money on this new generation Tundra? Obviously, every time I take this trip, I'm going to check the MPG as the engine breaks in a little bit. But there was a quick moment there, a couple quick moments where I was in traffic, and the whole time we were doing the bumper to bumper stuff, the truck was on the battery. The engine wasn't on at all until I started to pick up speed again. So that's going to help your MPG a little bit there. But an overall great drive. And, I will keep you updated along the way through the ownership process to see if that fuel mileage does change for the truck. But I want to hear from some of you 2022/2023 owners. How's the fuel mileage on your truck? Have you taken any long trips? Because 170 miles isn't a gigantic trip. It's just the beginning here. I wanted to get the thing out on the highway. We drove up into the Pocono Mountains just to see what it was all about. It did really good on the hills. I'm just very impressed right now with the truck. I don't have much things bad to say about it because it was a very solid trip. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Once again, current gen owners, 2022, 2023, let me know how you feel about your MPG and what some of your MPG numbers are. But until next time, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, at TundraDude34, TundraDude34@gmail.com. Once again, with those stats, 170.1 was the trip, and it took 8.958 gallons of regular fuel to fill up, making that number 18.98 MPG on the trip. So we'll say 19. Have a great day. Let me know what you think.